Let's go, everybody. Welcome back. It's your boy Rico No Suave. Oh, wait. I have to tell you, man, I'm super happy. Ya tú sabes, mi gente, I am so happy to be back with each and every one of you guys for another great show. It is me, once again, your host, Rico No Suave. And, everything I have to tell you, everyone, is life is great. Life is good. As we come up as far as with the holidays, everyone, it's all about helping each other. And one thing that I have to say is I love helping people. I love the kids. I love the families. And this is such a great time. And hopefully you guys, are out there helping each other and just being kind to each other out there as well too. But I do have story time, everybody. I do have something called story time. And this story time, everyone, is real quick. And this goes out to a lot of some of the podcasters that's coming up, and also some of the talk show hosts that's actually coming up as well too. I was watching a podcast, and it was multiple people that was actually on the podcast itself, and it kind of reminded me of when people talk about politics, but it was more of a different situation, right? It was a different subject, but the one thing about being a host that I really learned a lot or love about is when someone speaks, you got to listen and then respond back. Man, it was so much chaos going on there. I felt like, man, I need to turn to another channel. I need to turn to another podcast because it seems like everyone was not being kind to each other. Like, don't let the person speak, and one person wanted to be bigger than the other. And I'm like, whoa, 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 where's all of this arrogance? The moral of the story is speak to each other politely, but also speak in a way of you being able to get your point across. That's what it's all about, just getting your point across. And when you get your point across, then everybody comes to a conclusion. You can agree to disagree. So, that was kind of my story time today because, I almost felt like I was stressed out. I almost felt like I needed to go to sleep. I'm like, nobody's ever listening to me, and I'm not even talking. So that was my story time. Everybody, you already know December, there's awareness. AIDS Awareness Month in December, everyone. People like families have been affected by something like this, but also maybe their friends as well. One thing is to be able to get checked out, get tested, and also to be able to make sure that you support your loved ones that may have contracted AIDS or HIV as well. So please make sure you take care of yourselves in a most safe way, but also make sure you support your family members as well, and also your friends that may have been that's dealing with AIDS at this moment, and also prayers to the ones that have not made it, but we pray for you and thank you for looking over your family. All right, everybody, it's time for me to introduce. Woo-wee! Hey, I'm just super happy. I got a big shout out to my man, Senor Mr. Danny Arroyo, for actually having this young lady here with us. This lady have over 70 credits, even more now. She is a beautiful content creator, but she has been in soap operas. One of my favorites was General Hospital. You have also called her in Inheritance with Lily Collins. And she's been on a lot of other movies and series and just killing it on Netflix. Everybody, I want you to show your love and just give her the heart. She deserves it. Put your hands together for none other than Christina Derosa. Let's go. Let's go. Christina, are you there?
Yes, I'm here and I'm
Let's
happy to be
go.
here.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
Woo!
Let's go. Love, your energy is magnetic, right? Your
Yeah.
energy is magnetic. Yes, yes. Your
What you
energy
said
is magnetic, and I
is important.
approve this message. Oh my God. Hey, Christina, before we get started, it's such a great delight to have you here on the Rico No Suave show. Like I said, I've watched your content. I watched everything you have done in regards to some of the movies, your trailers, and also your reels. And it's just, you're an amazing actress. I know you're a producer. And most of all, of course, I love you as a content creator. So I got to give you your flowers today. It's all about you. And I just want to make sure that the world knows more about you today as well, too. But before we get started, my love, Do you have any shout outs you want to give out to anyone out there?
Well, let's do another shout out to Danny Arroyo, and that's the reason we're connected here. So, yes.
Let's go.
Yes. And
Let's go.
everyone who's tuning in right now, thank you for being here. It is all love. And like you said, it is the season. The reason for the season is love and kindness. So,
That is
kindness is
correct.
king. So, keep on being kind to one another.
Yes.
I
Yes.
approve of that message.
Let's go. Let's go. All right. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Me too. Me too. Excuse me. I'm choked up already. All right. Family. Musical. Whoo! There's music that flows through your family, even at a young age. When you were young, how much did you train to also sing and dance?
Well, I've always loved learning. I've always loved taking the dance classes, taking the singing lessons. It was always a joy. There was always like a passion that just kept me from learning. So it never felt like work. It always just felt like play. And I consider myself a student of life. Case in point, in 2025, I'm actually going to be becoming fluent in Italian and getting my European citizenship. So big
Nice.
fan of just learning constantly, never feeling like I'm too old to learn this or too jaded to do this. I mean, I love taking classes. I love learning. I love bettering myself. I love reading self-help books, and I'm all about it. I'm all about just constantly improving. So I've always been this hungry little creative child that wanted to keep on growing, and that hasn't died out. That hasn't changed.
So, as a young lady as yourself, because when it's time for music in the household, there's certain types of genre of music that you listen to, right? But also being part of your personality, and thanks to the parents for that. What was it like growing up? What type of music were you accustomed to listening to, for us to know? Because it starts at the bloodline somewhere.
Great question. I love that. Yeah. My father actually sings. He doesn't like to really talk about it, but he is a singer himself. He's a tenor.
Okay.
And I grew up as a little girl, 3, 4, 5 years old, hearing Frank Sinatra, hearing Tony Bennett, hearing Pavarotti, hearing all the greats, and just always being around Louis Armstrong and always being around just such great music
Yes.
that to this day, as much as I love and enjoy popular music and what's trending on TikTok, my heart still loves Tony Bennett. My heart still
Let's
craves listening
go.
to Dean Martin, and those are like those are like classics to me. And I because I grew up listening to them, I, it will always be, like you said, in my blood. And because I was also in musical theater at a young age, there was always a musical playing. I
Yeah.
mean, whether it was Fiddler on the Roof or Annie or The Color Purple or whatever it was, there was always some musical always playing. So I
Wow.
just kind of naturally hear music. Like I wake up, no joke, I wake up every morning with like a different song in my head.
Come on.
Um, and it sometimes feels like it's like God visiting me in my dreams or telling me, like maybe it's a worship song or maybe it's like a message through the song. But I really feel like songs are a way of God even communicating with us.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I do wake up very, very often with like a different song every morning in my head. And that's kind of like the song of the day.
Let's go. Hey, when so you made me think about, maybe I'm like, man, I know that there's some things that I might like wake up thinking that I'm singing a song in my sleep, and it comes out as just being that joyous type of a person. But that is so awesome. So when you were young and you were actually looking at all of the different types of musicals that was just around, and you did touch on the Italian part, right? I love my Italianos, man. I forget about it. I love them because the music behind it is just it's amazing. And I do weddings and stuff like that, like MC and stuff. But then when I do an Italian wedding or I do a mixture between that and you get all different types of music, like you said, you wake up and you hear different types of music, or you have a song in your head. That's how I am when I'm leaving, right? I might like sing some type of Italian song. I'm like, man, I gotta download. I gotta look at that. I'm saying download. I gotta get that on Spotify. You know, and I feel you. Music keeps us going. Just does. It
Yeah, I
does.
mean, just like laughter, they say is the best medicine. I feel like music is a form of healing too.
Yes.
So I much
Yes.
rather wake up with a song in my head than with like a to-do list of all the things I have to do, because that song can kind of lead me through the day and just kind of give
Yes.
me that hope and that peace and that joy.
Yes. Yes. I love that. So
Yeah.
as you trained, you were singing and you were dancing. Now, there has to be some, was there any formal training or was there like home training? Of course, because of the music, you just trained yourself. Your voice was just naturally there. What was the training like? Because, of course, we're going to get to the next part in regards to how you were Annie.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even though I grew up in a musical house and my dad was singing and my sister was playing the flute and we were all very musical, no, absolutely. I say I'm a student of life. So
Okay.
classes were imperative. I took ballet, tap, modern, jazz. I took vocal lessons. I took piano lessons. So I can read sheet music. Like I could read music because I studied the piano at a young age. Then
Yeah.
that turned into playing the violin as I got older.
Wow.
So yeah, music was just always a huge part of our family. My sister actually, to this day, teaches flute lessons. She's a flautist, and she's performed many amazing venues. And yeah, my father can still sing, of course. And there's
Yeah.
always I always grew up. What's funny too is I always grew up having at least a baby grand piano in my house. So even like when I was in college, and it was like you don't usually have like a grand piano in like a dorm room. I somehow like slid a keyboard in there, you know?
Yeah.
So like a piano was always kind of part of the furniture. Like I think pianos are just sexy and beautiful. So
Yes.
it was always a part of our home. My parents still have a piano in their home.
That's awesome. My father was a piano player, jazz player, and I really love the piano piece. The piano is just it's just a certain level of piano, the keys behind it, and then when you do a solo or even if you're doing a recital, it's just something about the piano that just makes it ever so beautiful. Knowing
Yeah.
that you knowing that you went through training, which is awesome, and being able to play different instruments, which was beautiful. When it came to you being in front of an audience and being able to perform in front of an audience, there's two. There was playing Orphan Annie, and also you was in The Wizard of Oz. How did that come about? Because you're such a like upbeat person, but it's different when you were in front of an audience. How was it with being able to perform in front of an audience on those plays?
Oh, there's nothing like live performance and the sound and the feel of applause. My mother was always the first one standing at every single performance, and she would always have
Nice.
like a red rose in her hand, at least one red rose, maybe a dozen. And we just kind of, she still reminds me of that tradition because that's how I grew up. I grew up that like mom would always be the first one standing at every musical, at every performance you're in, whether it's a ballet recital, whether it's a Wizard of Oz, Babes in Toyland, whatever musical I was in. And that feeling of like people live applauding you and just right there laughing and a part, it's like they're a part of the ensemble. It's like they're a part of the production. It's very different transitioning into film and television where it's like now the camera is kind of like part of that scene with you and takes on its own character as well and is kind of like intimately with you. But it's a very different feel than live interactive applause in an audience. Entirely different, but both wonderful, wonderful mediums.
The difference between the two is, for me, is immaculate, right? Because you have a live audience who you connect to. And when you connect to a live audience, when you're doing the musical, or they might be singing along because they know who that is, but also the songs that they sing along with. Do you feel that when you were younger? How old were you? I'm sorry. How old were you when you was playing Orphan Annie?
Around 8 years old.
Okay, okay. So around 8 years old, when you're ready to get out there to be able. How long did you practice as far as with Orphan Annie before we talk about the stage presence?
How long was the rehearsal process? Maybe a few
Yeah,
months.
Just a few months? Okay. All right.
But prior to that was all kinds of training and singing and dancing and all the classes. Like I was part of a community center that we would constantly have Monday tap or Tuesday jazz. And so it was a very like community center curriculum of all the little kids, including Natalie Portman, who played in The Wizard of Oz a Munchkin with me. So we were all part of this program where we were always singing and dancing and not so much acting, but mostly singing and dancing, which is
Nice.
funny because singing and dancing felt so natural and felt so comfortable. But then when I got to be in elementary school and we had to read out loud certain things, whether it's in a textbook or certain things, just read out loud in class, I was nervous because it
Mm.
wasn't on the stage. It was more like it was reading as opposed to singing and dancing. So it's so
Ah.
funny how one thing can feel so comfortable and another thing could not. And that's when my teachers were like, put her back in the theater. Like more theater is going to give her more confidence.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. I like that. I always thought about that, Christina, when it came to being able to read from the script, but then singing. I think that is such for me. That would just be hard because I'm not a singer, only in the shower, But when it comes down to it, there's that script, and then you have a taste of both worlds, pretty much. Would you say?
Well, it's funny because I've had some vocal teachers that have told me the definition of singing is sustained speech. And I think when
Mm,
people hear that, they think, oh, well, I mean, anybody could basically sing happy birthday. Could you
right.
sing it on key and like learn how to be on key? Sure. I mean, certain people have more power and more presence and more volume in their voice and but I think it takes away some of the pressure when you think of the definition of singing as sustained speech. To me, I
Yeah.
learned that at an early age, and it just kind of gave me more freedom. That it was like, oh my goodness, if I can talk, I can sing. Like,
Yes. 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 But I think singing just keeps you happy in general, Christina. That's just you. I think wherever you go, when you're talking, it just looks like you want to sing just by everybody. You got to check out her content. Her content is like, it's just love. It's just, you got to see it because it just feels as if you want to sing no matter what because of your personality and because of how kind you are to people. You just want to go ahead and just sing all the time. So that is awesome, man.
well, it's
Congratulations on
like
that.
it's like negativity can't exist when we're
No,
laughing.
that's
And I
right.
think the same thing about singing. Like I think when we're singing, just like when we're working out and we're sweating and we're moving and we're dancing, like it's serotonin. It's like everything is working together. Like it's a very different energy vibrationally than like sitting on the couch and like crying and feeling sad for yourself. Like when we're
Yeah.
moving, when we're in our bodies and we're doing like what we're supposed to do, sing and dance and be creative, like how could we not feel joy? Like to me, it just clicks. Like it makes sense.
It's only contagious for people that want to have that virus. It's only contagious in regards to happiness of people that want to have that happy virus. And I think I love the happy virus. I just love it. And I think for you as well too, the happy virus is very contagious. See, we're happy right now. And I'm not even close to you, and we happy, and we got the
Just
virus
thinking
right
about
now.
it. Yeah.
Hey, so you know, time is always flying by fast because I love your energy. I love what you're doing. Over time, musical, theaters. There was a time, of course, where you had to get into the film, the transition to film. At what age did you get into more of whatever came first? Was it short films? Was it feature films? Which one came first when it came to you transitioning into the film industry?
Well, it's a funny story, actually. And it basically highlights that it's never my plan, it's God's plan.
Yes.
So I had a plan, and my plan was all right, I'm going to get accepted into the Boston Conservatory. Check. Got accepted, full scholarship, BFA, musical theater, singing, dancing, acting, every day. After my first year at college, I'm in New York doing some summer stock jobs, trying out new things, in a musical actually. I take the expression during a rehearsal, break a leg, literally, and I fall and I break my leg.
Oh no.
I was told by a doctor who didn't know my capacity and my resilience and my resistance that I'll never dance again, and that I couldn't go back to the school because at the school I had to dance every day.
Okay.
So, okay, took some time off, physical therapy, wheelchair, community college classes, and then applied to schools in California for acting, film, and television. So it's almost like if this break a leg accident wouldn't have happened, my trajectory would have looked very different, and I probably would have stayed at the Boston Conservatory, graduated after 4 years of college, ended up on Broadway in New York, and just lived in New York the rest of my life.
Mm.
But again, God's plan was greater than what I even thought or saw.
Yeah.
So it changed everything, turned everything upside down, turned my world upside down. I thought my life was over. Oh my gosh, I'm told I can't dance again. Like, that's what I wanted to do.
Right. Wow.
But yet, moved to LA, got accepted to UCLA, graduated within those 4 years, and then focused more on film and television. And the dancing took a big backseat and the singing took a backseat, but I focused on film and television. And I don't know
Wow.
if I would have had that experience or had that opportunity had I not broke my leg.
Right. Right.
So I
Wow.
mean, right? That's like
Yeah.
unbelievable.
So it's it's kind of a story that we didn't want to happen because of the situation, of course, and being able to still be able to use what you've done within plays, which is scripts, that you read and being able to be that actress, no matter what. You always kept it positive within your heart, knowing that now I'm transitioning to the film industry, but knowing that you still, of course, have love for the plays and for the musicals as well.
Absolutely.
When,
Absolutely. And I think
go
the
ahead.
theme again goes back to like it's not my plan.
Right.
And
Yeah.
even in a movie that I sold last year, pre-writer strike, the theme of the movie is all about when we think we have a great plan, God has a greater plan, and it's about
That's right.
trusting. And a lot of times we're like, no, 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 it has to go this way, the way
Hmm.
that I want it to go. But at that time, when I broke that leg, when I was in a hospital, when I was in a cast, you couldn't convince me, no matter what you said to me, that it's God's plan. I was like, what in the heck? What is going on? Like, why would God do this to me? But now when I look back many, many, many years later, I'm able to see the big picture and go, wow, like that was a blessing. And I think so many times, I love sharing this story, and I've shared it so many times in my life, and I share it for everyone listening and you, of course, but I also share it for me because it just
Yeah.
reminds me that even in my little mist of challenges on my day-to-day stuff that happens when I can't see the big picture, there's always like a greater picture. And
Yeah.
it just helps me to know that like there's always something at work. God is always working on my behalf, on my favor, even when I can't see it, especially when I can't see it.
You know, I so love that you put in the efforts behind the man upstairs. And the cool thing about what you said in regards to your path is that your path is not just defined by you. Your path is defined by the man upstairs of knowing what he wants you to do. And I really love it because your path started when you were actually having your training classes, but also you were training even when you were at your parents' house when you were young. When it came to musicals, being able to talk as far as to yourselves and wake up being happy and knowing that you're being happy, ready to be able to hit that stage and being able to read between the scripts and being able to sing and be able to dance until that incident happened where it says, okay, we're going to bring you down a little bit, but I got a different path. I got a same path for you, but we're going to take a different direction. And then we're going to actually start having you act and being able to still do the great things that I'm going to have you to do. So, kudos to the man upstairs and also to the angels that's still looking over you as well too. So I think that's a good thing to be in. It's still a good thing to actually be in as well. So
Amen.
I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful, number one, that you're still here, of course. And it's so funny. Somebody was like, hey, when you're ready to go on stage, do they still say break a leg? I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, I still want to stand. I need to stand up instead of sitting down because I'm just too fidgety. So it's funny that when they say break a leg, it's like, yeah, we really don't want to do that, especially if you're an entertainer. But then also being able to go a different path in a positive way. So I love
Well,
that story. I love
I
that
always, I'm
story.
so glad you love it. I always make the joke that I take direction very well. So when
Yes.
someone tells me to break a leg, I'm like, okay, I will.
But not in a laughing way of saying break a leg. But yeah, we do follow direction, but that's not the direction you really want to follow, right? But it was the man upstairs direction, and it was good. But it's just you stayed positive, you stayed a warrior, and you still are doing great things to this day. Now, before we take a quick break, when when we talk about the first film or the first was it a first film that you were in? I'm sorry, did I catch that?
Which one are we talking about?
When you went into film, right? What was your first gig that you actually had? Was it a soap opera? Was it on TV? Like, I mean, was it like a short film? What was it that you actually played for the first time as an actress?
Well, actually, before I even went to college, I was working on some industrials at like 13, 14,
Okay.
15. So I was playing around with film and television before I even got to college.
Hmm.
But it was really after college that I got really serious and started getting an agent and really working on auditioning for film and television and commercials and really big quality productions in Los Angeles.
I see. So let's talk about that because sometimes people think that they can go down to LA and do it on their own and make things happen. They network and they say, "Hey, I know this person," which is good. But you said the magic word, agent. When you actually start taking it serious, what's the first word that someone say, "Hey, before you get into this business, you got to have an agent."
Okay, I mean, I can hear that, and I can also say before you get an agent, you have to have studied, trained, be prepared, have great headshots, not necessarily have a great resume or reel, especially if you're starting out, but you
Yes.
have to be at least teachable and willing to get all the tools. Because
Let's
the
go.
agent is not just going to magically, with a magic wand, be able to get you auditions. They
Right.
can only get you auditions if you get them the right marketing tools, which are headshots, resumes, reels, clips. If you don't have a great master reel, you can have a clip of you acting, but you have to have some type of talent or tools
I see.
going into even meeting with that agent.
Yes.
And one of my best pieces of advice in terms of getting an agent or manager
Sure.
is referrals for people who are always asking, how can I get an agent or manager? If you have a
Mm,
friend, whether it's an acting teacher, someone in your acting class, or a casting director, or a producer, or a director, or someone of notoriety, even if it's an actor who's done well with that agency, that could count too.
sure.
They can help refer you to that agent or manager.
I like that. I like that. The reason why I put that, because I wanted to put a twist to that. The reason why I did that was because I wanted people to know that it's not just all about thinking that the agent is going to help you get better, but for you to be able to make sure that you're preparing yourself for that agent to connect with you, right? Number one, personality level. Can you guys work together? And then second of all, to be able to say, I know these people that's going to be good for you to be able to try or audition for, right? To be able to get whatever movie or whatever soap opera that you want to be able to get to if you're an actor or whatsoever. So I'm kind of glad, I'm really happy that you said that piece because it's very important as well.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, I mean, I can talk about agents and managers depending how much time we have for a long time because it's very important to me because I think a lot of people, especially actors, I'll talk about,
Yeah,
don't realize that it's a relationship. Like any relationship, you wouldn't be like, give me, give me, give me,
right,
and I'm not going to give you anything. Like, what kind of
right,
boyfriend or girlfriend is going to stick around if that's your energy, if that's your attitude? So,
right.
a relationship with an agent or manager is very similar to like a marriage or any type of healthy relationship. you want to give them ammunition. So, for example, the last 5 projects I booked, I didn't necessarily get them from my agent or manager. Now, has my agent and manager brought in 26 auditions this year? Absolutely. Did I book all those? Absolutely not. So the last couple of jobs that I got on my own from my own relationships, of course, I'm still giving them their 10%. I'm still giving them their cut, because that's a relationship. That's what a relationship does. It's back and forth. It's give and take. I give them ammunition to keep on working hard for me. I show them what classes I'm taking. I show them, I give them all the tools. If they ask for new headshots, I get the new headshots. So it's not just a relationship it can't be a relationship that's one-sided.
Sure. I like that. Everybody, you already know it's my girl, Christina Derosa, the actress, the producer, and content creator, here with your boy Rico No Suave on the Rico No Suave show. Oh my God. Hey, Christina, are you having a good time?
Yes! Woo!
Let's go. Hey, Christina, hold on to your seat because we got a commercial break. We got to go and pay some bills. Everybody, this is Christina Derosa. Hey, we'll be back in 30 seconds, everybody. And welcome back, everybody. It is me, your boy Rico No Suave. Christina, you still with me, aren't you? You still with me? Let's
Yes.
go. Let's go. And I just love your energy. You know, I do have to give a few shout outs to people that is tuning in. My man Jose El Gringo says, you are contagious. And we just got to talking about that. Your energy is contagious. He said, I love her. I love her. Thank you, Jose. Yes, we have Beatrice checking in. Thank you, Beatrice, so much for checking in. She says, I'm late, but I'm here. I want to say hello to everyone here. Thank you so much for actually tuning in. My man John T for free. He said, yeah, Danny. He said Danny Arroyo is always helping out.
Aww.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, John T, for free. We got Patty Escobar. She said, I hope everybody's staying warm. Yeah, we're in Chicago, but yeah, it gets cold. Thank you so much, Patty Escobar. We got the Tibetan Spirit Guide. He says, such a fabulous guest. Love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you all for tuning in. And thank you. Mark Tacey is checking in with us. Thank you so much, Mark. Awesome energy. Yes, we bring the energy, baby, and hopefully you guys are bringing the energy through your comments. Thank you so much. All right. Let's keep it going, baby. Let's go. All right. So I got to talk about this because, love, you've done so much. You've done a lot. You've been in, soap operas, right? I'm not for sure if you've done shorts, but let's say you have, right? You've done short films, and then there's the feature films, right? There's a difference in regards to those when it comes to not just acting, but of course, there's the timetable behind certain things. Which ones do you really like doing the most? What would you say? Short films, soap operas, or feature films?
Or what about television shows?
Or television shows? What about television shows?
Yeah, I had a wonderful experience on Blackish. I had a wonderful experience on Jane the Virgin. Working on a television show is awesome. I've also been on shows that were more like a series regular role where you're on every episode. That feels amazing because it feels like it's a consistent family energy. I always remember when I worked on Blackish, I was only there for a couple days, but still, I remember when I walked on set and I saw the way the kids on the show react to Tracy Ellis Ross when she walked on set. It
Yeah.
was like Mama T. Like the energy was just so high vibrational, vibrant when they saw her outside of filming. Just the love that they had for each other. Because I mean, think about it. If you're filming 5 days a week consistently, and a show like Blackish, how many seasons? Oh my goodness! Like
Yeah.
they develop a sense of like it's longer than a feature film run. It's a family. It's an energy where you are literally think of a show that had a long run, Modern Family, Blackish, something that was on for so long.
Yes.
It really creates that energy where the kids on the show are literally growing up on the show. They're on the show from 10 years old to maybe 20 years old. That's a huge part of their life. So
Yeah.
I crave more television show opportunities like that where it feels like you really get to be with your new family.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. Let's go. Let's go. It's something like, you know, what is up back in the day? I love Martin Lawrence. He was. I think I would just been laughing if I ever had a chance to actually just act or be on his show as well too. But I love TV shows. Yes, I love the TV shows. What are some of your favorites? Do you have any favorites?
That I've been on or just favorite TV shows?
Just favorite in general.
Well, a TV show that I always wanted to be on that I just thought was so well done was The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. It was shot in New
Nice.
York,
Yeah.
and just talk about impeccable with every single word. I mean, every word of dialogue was just incredible. The camera angles, the costumes, every element felt like a movie with every episode. Like the colors, the cinematography, every
Yeah.
element of filmmaking to me on that show was just top notch. And I happen to love that time period. I happen to love the 50s and the 60s, and I love period pieces like that. And oh my goodness, if I never had an audition for that show, but if I would have auditioned for that show, half my closet would be appropriate for what I could have worn to the audition. So even just thinking about what
Nice.
I would have worn for the audition, like brings me
Yeah.
such joy.
I love it. I love it. Hey, I love those old school days. I love old school cars too. So like the old
Yeah.
school cars, old Chevys and Oldsmobiles, man. Man, back in the 50s and the 60s, I love that timeline. It's just a classy era. You know what I mean? It was just that style. You know.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
like what you see nowadays, people wearing like really baggy pants, or even women wearing like really high waisted baggy pants. Like you would never see that. It's just such a different time.
a
And to
different.
me, like what suits me, you'll see me more in a dress than you'll ever. I mean, I wear pants.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like I do wear pants, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to see me more in a dress. Like that just feels more in alignment with who I am.
I can see that. I can see that all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know. And of course, you can even have some old school jeans. They had old school jeans back then, you know, that just went whatever, you know, if you had a nice little hat, you know, the ladies that wear the hats with the nice little
Mhm.
veil or whatever you call that, right? And it just, and whatever you're wearing on top, you know, a nice little jacket, still have that 50s to 60s look. I think that's super cool, though. I think
Yeah.
that's awesome, man. I think that's awesome.
And you, what are
So,
some of your favorite TV shows?
say it again.
What are some of your favorite TV
Oh
shows, or what
man, good
shows bring you
question.
such joy?
Oh man, so
What if
Martin
it's a
Lawrence
talk
was
show?
one of
What
my
if it's
favorite. Martin Lawrence was one of my favorite as far as TV shows. I did watch, of course, the Cosby Show. That was back in the day. You got me thinking now. And also, um, different strokes. Different strokes was another
Oh,
one
you're
that I
going
used
back.
to
Like
watch.
you're going way back. Should we talk about I Love Lucy too? I love
I
I Love
Love
Lucy.
Lucy. That was one of my favorites. 12 noon on I think it was Sunday or Saturday. I used to watch in Central Time. Oh man, I Love Lucy. One of my favorite. The Honeymooners was another one. I watched that because my parents watched them, right? So
Mm,
I'm watching it and I'm just like, oh my goodness, being in black and white as well. And those are some of my favorite ones back then. Man. Yeah, you got me on that one. Now I have to think about that a lot.
now we're getting all nostalgic.
And you know, I was a cartoon fan too, but one of my favorite ones was Pink Panther. I love the
Okay.
Pink Panther. That was one of my shows as well too that I love. But all right, we got to get back because we'll be sitting here all day, and I would never get you off the show because I would never want to get you off the show. All right, before we take another break, of course, Because TV shows is such a big thing, of course, as well to you and in your life. Name some of the movies that you've actually been in that you were super proud of being in.
Yeah, you could still see me on a movie with Lily Collins right now on Netflix called Inheritance.
Yeah.
Great experience. Working with Lily Collins was just such a joy. She is the definition of grace,
Wow.
humble, just a beautiful person. I starred in a movie called Drowning in Secrets, which was a Mar Vista movie for Lifetime. I was the lead in that movie. It was a great experience filming that movie. Learned a lot, pushed myself to like another level. And I think what's fascinating about like every role I've played is I try to take a little something from the character and like incorporate it in my life. And for that specifically, it's like the inner strength. For Inheritance, it was like the confidence. Like there's always some level or some quality in the story I'm telling that I can like somehow take with me, whether it's physical, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. There's something that I kind of feel like when the project's done, when the movie wraps or it's over, there's still some part of it that like lives inside of me. And that's what I can just savor on.
Nice. I like that. I like that. Congratulations,
Thank you.
because you're always inheriting happiness, no matter where you go. Right?
Yeah.
Always joy there. But that was awesome. I do have. I love asking these questions for actors and actresses because there's certain categories of film. You got sci-fi, you got drama, you got suspense, you got thriller, you got horror, right? And then you got the family, right? Have you played in different roles where, as an actress, that you were like, yeah, I can do that more of that genre versus that I want to do in this genre. Knowing that you accepted the gig, right? Because of
Mhm.
course it's good to be able to be exposed to different types of personalities or acting within certain films. Was there a certain type of film that you say, hey, I just want to stick to this category of film?
Well, I'm a lot more discerning in what I produce than what I'm in as an actress.
Okay.
So ultimately, I would love to be in more. I would love to be in a biopic one day. I've never been in a biopic.
Okay.
I would love to be a part of faith-based films.
Okay.
I films that are really like heart-centered, something that like I really would want my 8-year-old niece to watch and just really
Yes.
feel proud of her aunt for that.
Love it.
I I don't know if I would necessarily turn down any genre because it's more specific of the story and what
Right.
and the character and what's going on there. Um, Probably what doesn't speak to my heart as much compared to something else would be like horror. I've been in plenty of horror films. I've even produced a horror film, but
Okay.
does it do I crave it? Not as much as I crave a comedy or a drama or
Yes.
yeah. So it's just yeah. To answer your question, I would love to be in a movie musical. I would love to be in like a remake of Guys and Dolls.
Let's
That to me would
go.
be amazing. So there's many things that are still on the horizon that I would love to do. I would love to be in a Bollywood movie, singing and dancing and
Ooh.
acting in Bollywood. I've been to India and I've done a movie in India,
Okay.
but it wasn't necessarily, it was a hybrid between an American production and an Indian production. There wasn't singing and dancing in it, but I would love to be in like a Bollywood singing and dancing movie. I would love to return to India and film.
Nice.
So I mean, there's just so many things that I crave. And I think with the way the industry is going now, there are more productions shooting outside of this country, shooting outside of America.
Sure.
So I can absolutely, my passport is always ready.
Let's go.
And, fly me to Thailand,
Yeah.
fly me to Singapore, fly me to Italy. I'm ready to film. Let's go.
Oh, that's. I got to connect you with my guy that's in the Philippines right now, Derek,
Okay.
and I got to connect you with him. So I'll definitely connect you both because he's in the Philippines doing films in the Philippines as well too. Since you like, of course, to fill up that passport, right, to be able to go out there
Yes.
and do some filming. I'll definitely make that connection as far as for you guys. I do have There's a comment before we take our next break. We do have the Tibetan Spirit Guide says Drowning in Secrets was awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah,
Hey,
he loves you on
you,
that one. He
yeah.
loves you on that one. Yes, I almost said it like I was in the film. All right. Mark Tacey says Inheritance is an awesome watch. Is Christina interested in more action suspense films like Black Flowers?
I was in Black Flowers. I almost forgot. I always do when you go check out my IMDb, like pack a lunch because sometimes I'm like,
Exactly.
yes, that was a joy. We shot in Montana. That
Nice.
was fun. Um, Absolutely, I would love to do another film like that, very apocalyptic.
Nice.
But again,
Nice.
what really speaks to my heart and what I really crave is more faith-based musicals, uh, even Hallmark family content. I would love to be in something like that. Um,
Nice.
and then, of course, biopics. I've seen
Yep.
so many brilliant biopics that are just Oscar-winning movies, and something like that that's transformational is that would be incredible.
Let's go. Everybody, you already know, time fly by fast when we're having fun with Christina Derosa here on the Rico No Suave show. We hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. Thank you so much for actually just going in on the comments. And even if you're talking to your TV right now, thank you for talking to your TV. We know that the energy is there, baby. The energy is there. All right, Christina, sit back, relax, love. We're going to talk a little bit about NASCAR moments. Hey, NASCAR moments, everybody. Yes, this is something that the Rico No Suave show loves to do. And, one thing that we love about moments is because most of the times you actually hear that there is, a male race car driver. Hey, but did you know that there are women that's tapping into this as well, too? And we're giving the flowers today to Haley Deegan. Yes, yes, yes. She competed in a rookie season at NASCAR Craftsman, the Truck Series in 2023, driving the number one David Gilliland Racing Ford. So, where she spent 2 seasons, she was doing her thing there. Currently, she drives the number 15 Ford for AM Racing. She was the 2020 ARCA Menard Series Rookie of the Year, finishing third excuse me, in the point standing and earning 4 top 5 and 17 top 10 finishes. She competed in the ARCA Menard Series West in 2018 and 19 for the Bill Anali, earning 3 victories during her time there. All right, she's rocking it out. She also has decorated off-road racing career and is the daughter of motocross legend Brian Deegan. Yes, so, hey, we giving you your flowers here, Haley. We giving you your flowers here. Always stay that Deegan you are. And that is another moment in NASCAR moments. Let's go. Yeah. All right, everybody, let's get back because Christina De Rosa is waiting for me. That's what she's doing.
Woo-wee!
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Christina, of course, there's always time that's not on our side, but you know what? It's been on our side today. It's been on our side today of nothing but great fun. And we got to move to something that I really want everybody to know more about. Let's get it. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to do it again. Social media is always growing, Christina. Social media is always
Yes.
growing. It's been a big thing. Back in the day, you had newspapers, you had articles, and you wanted to be in the front page of a newspaper or in a good way, right? And you always want to be in a section as far as when it comes to film, TV, musicals, and entertainment. You want to be in that section, right? But now that social media has really taken off, now you are taking off, and you have taken off like that. Content creation. It's not easy. It's not easy work. Being a content creator comes with a lot of cameras, scripts, but also somebody to edit your videos and also coming up with the content. Talk to the audience in regards to how you got involved as far as more with being more of a content creator for yourself.
Absolutely. It's just another platform. It's another way for me to entertain. And for me, the purpose is always to entertain and to encourage my audience. So, for example, I post a daily living mantra, which is an affirmation that I post, that I create, that I write myself on three different social media channels every single day, daily at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then every Monday on TikTok and on Instagram stories, I'm posting a video of my living mantra. I also love to post comedic content, whether it's me getting together with my tall friends and emphasizing my petite stature. We just had one video go viral on TikTok and Instagram, and it was literally like a behind the scenes video of me and my friends on set doing the Macarena, and I like jump up on their legs and then I fall. But I captured the fall because it was so funny and it was behind the scenes bloopers. And I think
Wow.
people want to see the real life, not just the pretty, perfect girl who did the Macarena and looked great doing it, but they want to
Yeah.
see the behind the scenes of the making of it. So I just have fun entertaining, and that's always the joy is finding a way to give back through my social media, finding a way
Yes.
to inspire other people to love themselves. If I can teach something without being preachy, or if I can just entertain in a way that's light enough that it just brightens someone's day or makes someone laugh, then I feel amazing.
Let's go. Let's go. You know, if I knew that you were going to be on Lifetime and I thought that, Lifetime, like the channel, I feel like I'm on it right now, right? I feel like I'm on it right now. You know, the reason why is because of your heart and the things that you want to do for people is amazing, right? And being that content creator and how you're using different subjects to make fun out of it in a positive way, right? Fun out of it to make people know that, hey, this is me. This is really me outside of being in front of the camera for film, right? For TV shows. This is me. And people really want to see that. I'm so glad that you said that because that helps other content creators as well, too, that's probably in that industry and is kind of shy of being able to come out and do social media based off of what people may think of them, right? How do you handle, because you're such a kind person and such a awesome person itself, how do you handle negativity that's thrown your way?
I learned that we have to teach people how to treat us. So if I was to just delete or remove or block any negative comment, then that person is going to go and do it to someone else. So instead of blocking or deleting, I will literally reply with something like, please be respectful. Please
Yeah.
only leave kind comments here. Or I will remove this comment and I will block you. Like giving them an opportunity to say, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for that to come off this way. Or giving them an opportunity and teaching them how to treat me is always what I'm aiming for.
Yeah. I like that. I like the way you took control of that, right? Because that's the great option that you can make with being able to give them an alternative is if you want to stay in this channel or this group or not, right? Or stay with the conversation or not. And there's just people out there, you already know, there's that good and there's that evil. And then there's that people that love to troll because they ain't got nothing better else to do, right? But then also you have to be able to decipher how to be able to take that trolling and make it into a real conversation. I
Mm,
ran into that situation as well to myself where I have to really say, hey, it wasn't really like that or whatever that you're actually saying. I don't want you to be confused about my statement, right? Because sometimes
mm.
people take it a wrong way as well too. So I really like the way you take control of it and really let them know, hey, if this is not for you, I will block you or you can just unsubscribe or you can go somewhere else, and
Absolutely.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I got to talk about something real quick that always is close to the heart, that we talked about behind the scenes, right? In regards to LA Mission. There was something that you do every year, and you do it every year as well too. If you can actually see it, she's actually holding up, a plate of food. I think we might have a photo of that, and we might want to put that up. But if you can just go over as far as what you do to be able to help people each year when it comes to volunteering, talk to us about that.
Absolutely. I really believe what Martin Luther King Jr. said, and he said it best: anybody can be great because anybody can serve.
Yes.
And I've just lived my life where I feel better when I'm being of service. This is me at the Los Angeles Mission. I've been serving, giving back at the LA Mission for over 15 years. It just feels so good to give a hot plate of food to someone who really, really needs it.
Yeah.
And I crave it. I really crave the feeling of serving. I served for over 7 years as on a nonprofit called Face Forward. We provide free reconstructive surgery to survivors of domestic violence, human trafficking, or any cruel act of violence. Served on that committee, and I was the chairwoman for years. Any type of service to me just feels so good, and my heart craves it.
When you bring someone, let's say, of course, people food, because I love food too, but I know from a good cause, when you bring someone a plate of food or you serve them a plate of food, how does that make you feel? And I know that's one piece, right, of volunteer work, because I know there's clothing behind it. There's other things that we can do for the homeless and people that's in need. But let's talk about food, because everybody gets happy with food, but there's a delight piece when it comes to you being able to help people in need when it comes to food. How does that make you feel?
Well, again, I mean, to go full circle from how we started the interview, I grew up in an
Yeah.
Italian household, an Italian family, and food is love.
Yeah.
And till this day, my mother, my father will show their love in taking me out to dinner or making me a plate of pasta or making me some type of food. And that's how they really do show love, is through food. So when you're handing someone a hot plate of food, and they might not have had a hot plate of food in days or weeks, or we don't know how long, it tears me up. I mean, it makes me feel like that's what we're supposed to do in this world. We're supposed to give back. We're supposed to care about other people. And if
Yes.
more people did that, what a beautiful world it would be.
Let's
I
go.
always think that if everybody could just volunteer for even like a few days a month, a few days a year, they would understand they would get more in touch with their gratitude. They would feel more grateful for what they do have. And they might even become a more gentle, more kind person.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm a kind person.
Yes, you are.
I'm a kind person. I like being kind. And you know why I like being kind is because you're kind, right?
Oh,
And you set the tone, and I set the tone. And the reason why I'm setting the tone even more, because I'm so hyped that you're here with me, is because I have something for you. I have a shirt for you.
what?
Yes, let's go. I have this for you. You
Thank
know,
you.
you deserve this. You deserve this shirt. And we call this a shirt for the gems of the world. And the gems of the world, like yourself, is being able to, number one, being able to grow up within a family of love, music, dance, and then being able to train, right? To be able to train yourself so whatever the man upstairs have for you next, then you start getting into the filming industry. And then you start picking and choosing. I shouldn't say picking and choosing, but you knew exactly where you need to be because your heart was like, this is where I want to be. I want people to laugh. I want people to dance. If I can't dance, I want other people to dance. I want people to actually enjoy themselves when they see me on screen. I want them to smile. I want them to look at me as a person that you can come up to and have a great conversation with. And then, of course, one of the biggest of all things is LA Mission. You have giving your life, a piece of you, to others in order for them to be able to know that you care for them. And I think by you being on the show today and showing the world what Christina Derosa is all about, it makes me feel even more blessed to have you on the show and other people that's watching this, that you're a blessing and you're a gem of this world. So I want to say congratulations to everything that you have done, but also where your mission is still continuing, no pun intended, in LA, right? And also across the world. So this shirt right here, you're part of the kind family that we love you here on the Rico No Suave show. Let's go. Let's
Thank you
go.
so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I always like to add that what you see in me is in you. So
Yes.
every compliment you gave me, you couldn't have given it to me unless you possess it as well.
Hey, and this is a show, a talk show of reality, because this is how I am. I love giving, but I love being kind to people, and I teach it all the time. That's kind of what we started off with the show with, being aware of what people may go through and make sure you support them. So this is part of that show as well too. Christina Derosa, you are an awesome angel of being on the show as far as with us today. I can't wait to be able to like interview you in person. I can't wait to see you in person. And thanks once again to Mr. Danny Arroyo, my guy. I can't wait to actually see you out in LA and seeing the great things that you're doing as well too. But we got to put up your social media because everybody needs to know more about you because I want them to support you because you're such an awesome person. All right, so let's put up that first one. You already know this is actress Christina Derosa on Instagram. Make sure you guys go ahead and follow her there. That's on Instagram. Do that now. Let's go to the next one. And you know, it's TikTok. She blowing up. She blowing up on TikTok. Let's go. Actress, you already know Christina Derosa. Make sure you go and follow her on TikTok. Go ahead and just follow her. Comment. Hey, I saw you on Rico No Suave show. Okay, cool. Here's the next one. Oh, Facebook, everybody. Hey, make sure you go and say that you saw her on the Rico No Suave show. Don't go and start spamming her, right? Don't just go and start spamming her and say, hey, I want to be in one of your TikToks, right? Unless she really wants you there, right? Christina.derosa on Facebook, everybody. Make sure you go and follow her there or just add her as a friend. All right, here's the next one. Oh, yeah. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You got to subscribe, right? Just don't go and look. Make sure you subscribe. Turn on those notifications. It's Christina Derosa. Yes, yes. And I think I got one more. Yeah, and this has everything you need to see about her. It's on ChristinaDerosa.com. Make sure you go ahead and check her out. You'll see our IMDb page. Show her love on our IMDb page as well, too. All her information is there. You know, Christina, you are the bomb. That's all I got to say. You are the bomb.
Likewise, thank you so much. Big hug.
Hey, and I got to have you back on the show. I got to have you back on the show next year just to check in with you to see how you're doing, right? Because I want to see the greatness, and it might even be live out in LA. So we're going to definitely make that connection. We're going to make it happen. All right?
Let's do it.
All right. Everybody, I want you guys to put your hands together for none other than my girl, Christina Derosa. I'll see you later, babes. Oh, yeah. All right, everybody, we got to get out of here. It's your boy, Rico No Suave. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us today. But we got to show you our social media because we want you guys to show that love to us as well, too. Website, www.riconosuaveshow.com. Yes, make sure you go and check us out there. We got everything from highlight reels to everything you need to see there. Here's the next one. It is Instagram. Follow us on Instagram, everybody. Rico No Suave Show. Please go ahead and do so. Show us some love there as well. Here's the next one. And you know, it's Facebook, Rico No Suave Show. Let's go. Rico No Suave Show. We are there. Like and love and follow us there. And of course, it's a big one for us as well, too. It's YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. Turn on those notifications. Just let us know that you're there, everybody, how much you enjoyed the show. All right, we got another one. It's called Mixcloud. If you love audio, everyone, make sure you go to mixcloud.com, Rico No Suave Show. You can listen to the audio piece of me and Christina Derosa. Last but not least, we got Red Coral Universe, one of our partners, everybody. Make sure you go ahead and show us some love there. Go ahead. You have to sign in. You know, just create a free account, look up TV shows, and you'll see the Rico No Suave Show. Everybody, we got to get out of here. We want to thank you guys so much for a great show today. It was awesome. The energy was crazy. It was just crazy because you guys are crazy for us and we're crazy for you. All right, everybody, we got to get out of here as we end off the show just like this.